Hi everybody! Thank you for tuning in and hi, welcome to my second live stream. um, First of all, before I start the stream, I just wanted to say thank you for all the support I've gotten on my first stream and on my YouTube account in general. I surpassed 500 followers without basically doing anything. And honestly, it's kind of baffling. I totally forgot that YouTube automatically uploads your VODs after you stream. And so I was quite surprised when I woke up and suddenly had like 200 views on my stream. That's so much more than I have expected or could have ever imagined on a stream, which was technically just a test stream for if everything works with my equipment. But I'm nonetheless very grateful, and I hope you can stay and follow me on my art journey. Yes, today's stream is basically an extension of last week's stream. As you can see, the sketch is no longer a sketch, but a line art. However, I haven't lined the background yet. We're just going to focus on the character today. Yeah, the character is supposed to be Mau Mau from the Apothecary Diaries. I'm going to mispronounce that name quite a lot of times. Thank you, Karumo, for the congrats. Yeah, as I've said, this is much more support than I could ever imagined. And thank you for being here in chat today. I have chat open on a different monitor because I haven't really figured out how to integrate chat into my stream. So if I read your chat a little bit later, please bear with me. I am checking it out, but there might be a little bit of a delay. So, back to the topic on hand. We are going to color today, and I'm going to go through my process, how I choose colors, and maybe we're going to go a little bit into rendering. But today is basically the hardest topic, I think, when it comes to coloring. It's choosing the right colors and making it look kind of harmonious. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Anyways, if you have already a reference or you're drawing a fan art like me, you have it quite a lot of easier because you actually have a reference. And you can... Like, fan art is really easy because you have a lot of references of your character and you have a lot of references in different light. And that's why choosing colors for a already existing character is kind of a lot of easier. So you have already your base colors in your reference. I'm just you can see my reference in the top right corner here. I'm going to put it more into the center because I want to explain how this reference helps me to pick colors. This is the official cover, and if you know the Apothecary Diaries covers, they all have kind of different color schemes, and I chose this specific one because I really like the blues and the greens in this artwork. If you look at my sketch again, you can see I haven't really cleaned up the background yet, but this part here on the bottom, okay, nice. This part here on the bottom, they are supposed to be flowers, and they're supposed to have like kind of bluish, greenish, pinkish colors, and all of those colors I can find in my reference. And that's honestly the easiest scenario you could have. I oftentimes struggle if I design original characters with a color palette, But if you have specific questions for choosing color palettes for your own character, I'd suggest using already existing characters and not maybe copy the color palette, but look into what's working, what kind of hues are working together. So we are going to choose mainly the pinks, the blues and the greens from Wisp Reference. But that's enough talking for now. Maybe we can start with coloring. That's the actual fun part. I actually really like coloring. I like really vibrant colors, and I hope I can explain my process behind it a little bit in the stream today. I've been requested to do actual tutorials, but my problem was always that I didn't really know what people expected me to put into a tutorial, so I can't really know what problems do you have with coloring. So I thought a live stream would be pretty nice, so you can maybe ask me some questions or what specifically you struggle with in coloring, so I can explain it to you in stream. And if I get questions a lot, I will make a tutorial on that certain topic. So feel free to actually ask about stuff. I'm more than happy to help. Okay, now we already have the finished line art of my character, of Mau Mau, and you would say that the first thing to do is to color in the character. And to that I say, no. I'd suggest you, especially if you struggle with choosing the right colors, to actually start with a background. Of course, only if you have one. But in my case, I am planning to do a black background afterwards. Of course, I'm coloring the character first, but I still want to show you that it's important to have kind of already a pre-existing idea what your background is going to look like, because this is going to help you choose harmonizing colors way more easier. So the first thing we are going to do is to fill in with artwork. And I really like to not have a... This is going to be a pretty light artwork, kind of just... The main focus is supposed to be Mau Mau, so the character in this picture, and the kind of the background, but it's just supposed to be secondary. And in the background, I definitely want you to focus on the window and on the flowers. So what I like to do is to not just use the default bright white, but to actually tone it, make it a little bit more warm. I had to add a little bit more warmth and use like an kind of eggshell color, so like kind of a whitish yellow. Yeah, this one is actually way too yellow, so I'm going to make it a little bit more brighter. Yeah, that's a color I much more like. So as you can see, the line I made this layer above the sketch. That's pretty stupid. You should always do your layers underneath your sketch. And this is the base color of the artwork. I really like eggshell because I really like kind of warmer colors. Mau Mau has kind of a colder color scheme. She has a really pink, cold tone pink as her main color. But that's not really the vibe I'm going for with this artwork. I'm going for more like a colorful style, I guess. So yeah, I just noticed in my previous artwork that I like this eggshell color as a base color the most, and it's the easiest for me to draw. So next up, we are going to choose the green from our reference. As you can see, if I just hold it down on my reference image, the cursor will just appear. And I will use this green as a starting point. And why green? Because this part here are supposed to be plants, of course. And I'm using a soft round brush just so I can cover a lot of space very quickly. And we are going to blur this just so we have a nice transition. You don't really have to follow your sketch, just make sure that you have kind of, you do kind of, I don't know how to say it in English. You kind of have to divide your canvas into different parts, and you kind of find out what's the dominant color in that part, and that's the color you fill in. So, of course, there are not only only leaves in this, there are also flowers, and the flowers are supposed to be blue because they are hydrangeas. I think I don't know how to pronounce them. Wait, just a second, I will Google them, how to pronounce these specific kind of flowers that I am drawing in this artwork. Because I'm kind of curious to how to pronounce them. Wait, I found a video. Of course I have ads. Hydrangea? Hydrangea. I would have never pronounced this way, but as you've heard, apparently it's called hydrangea. And yeah, I really like those flowers. They are actually my favorite flowers because they are so colorful and they come in so many colorways, but we are going to choose the blues and pink ones today because I think those colors suit Mau Mau the best. So I have this blue from the reference. The specific blue tone I do have from my reference. However, I don't really like how the saturation of it, so like the brightness of a color. So we are going to go and make it a little bit brighter. It's a really subtle difference, but I really like strong colors. And as I've said, I also really like pink with my blue flowers. So we are going to put some pink parts in here. Maybe like even have some gradients. Okay. So the last part I am focusing here on the background for now is the big window. I want the window to be my main light source. So I actually am not sure what kind of color I want the window to have. So I'm guessing that the easiest part is to see. I'm going to experiment. I have kind of 3 colors in my head, but they are quite different. So the first one is actually just white, just pure bright white. However, this one would be the nicest because I have a strong light source. This has but it's kind of also almost boring, I feel like. Yeah, maybe we will just go over the other options first. I will just duplicate this circle I've done, and the next one is a bright yellow. So we have like an eggshell already, but now the circle is supposed to be a bright yellow. This one could be also great for as a light source. It could look like the sun is beaming through that window, and it's not quite as boring as the white one. And the last option I've thought about is a blue or turquoise. So this kind of color. And this is honestly just depending on what kind of artwork you want to draw. I think I'm kind of leaning towards the yellow one for now. I will keep all of these layers, and after I've colored and rendered Mau Mau, maybe I will change my opinion after this. This is really just a work in progress. Even it's really useful to know what kind of background colors you have, but it's definitely not required. I really like to do it because this makes it easier for me to pick the colors for the character. But if you are not really sure, like me right now with a window color, this won't destroy your artwork. Please don't take any of my suggestions as a 100% foolproof way to color. This is just how I do it, and I personally don't know whether I like the yellow background or the blue background more. I'm also not really sure how I will color Mau Mau. So what we will do is we will choose the colors for the character, and after that we will decide what color the window will have. So I've put all the colors for the background into one layer, into one group, and this way I can equip and unequip them very easily, because now we are actually going to focus on the character itself. And we already have the background here, and what we are going to do now is to just do a base for the character so she doesn't blend in with the background. It's easier to use a really steady brush for this. Wait a second, I will move myself so you can see the brush. I really like using this monoline brush because it has a steady pressure, and for doing base work like we are going to do now, a steady brush is really easy. But I of course only use Procreate. I'm sure you can have a steady brush in any other art program that you are using. It's so fun to move myself around. So, I will be quiet for a while because I am going to line now. And I haven't checked chat for a while, but it seems like nobody else has spoken in chat. Also, I wanted to say thank you for all the kind people who encouraged me to stream again and who said that the nervousness will fade over time. I really appreciate this. I think it's so sweet with all your support. You've really motivated me to go online today and to stream again. You can't believe how motivating this was for me. And I feel like today's stream is already a lot better because I've actually planned out something. Not that I have a script or anything, but I know that I have a topic or a theme for the stream, and this already takes a lot of nervousness away from me. Oh, I just noticed I don't actually have to be so detailed in this part. Yeah, basically you just do an outline on all of your other parts of a character so you can fill them in easily with a bucket tool later. I've just been looking for something. Oh, I saw that you still posted something in chat, Kamaruri. I hope I didn't mispronounce your name. Thank you for staying in chat. I'm so glad I have someone who watches my stream. And thank you for being here. Yay! One half of the characters outlined. By the way, if any of you are watching our actual artists too, I'm kind of curious, what do you usually do when you draw? Because I have refrained from doing live streams like this because I usually listen to some kind of podcast or music or usually video essays. I really love to watch some video essays while I'm drawing. And now that I'm streaming, I don't have the luxury of that. So I either have to talk all the time or I have to kind of sit in silence because I can't hear the music that I play on stream. It's kind of, I have to get used to drawing in silence again. Oh my gosh, you found my stream yesterday. Ah, as I've said in the beginning, it's actually so baffling that YouTube just automatically posts your VODs. I haven't really anticipated that. So the stream last week was kind of chaotic. I hope that this one is a lot better. And yeah, I hope you enjoy drawing. I'm so happy you can draw along with me. And yeah. Now I'm curious. Can you tell me what you draw? Are you also working on a fan art or original character or something like that? Ah, yes. It worked. I always find it kind of satisfying when the bucket tool just does all the work and just fills in your line art. Usually you could also just fill in your line art because you have clean line art, but my line art is kind of sketchy, so it doesn't work for me, and it's easier to just have a solid to draw a solid border like I just did. Anyways, we have successfully separated our character from our background. And yeah, you can already see the colors of the art piece a little bit. And we are going to go over to the actual main part of choosing the colors for our character. And I'm going to move my reference to the left side so you can see it a little bit better. And basically, for the first round of colors, I'm just going to choose the colors from the reference, just straight up. Oh, I just noticed that my chat overlay actually works, but it's super small. Why is it so small? I will try to make it a little bit bigger, and maybe then I can actually see your messages in stream too. So, currently I'm trying to practice coloring, trying cell shading and other artist assets to spray when I'm still getting used to Procreate and digital art. Oh, great! The stream has actually come for a perfect timing for you. I'm really happy about that. As I've already mentioned a little bit earlier, I think coloring is actually my favorite part of drawing. It always was. I always enjoyed really colorful characters. And even though I know that Procreate can be an overwhelming app at the beginning, I can assure you that you can get used to it pretty quickly, and once you've done that, it's just fun. I really like Procreate. Before I've switched to drawing on my iPad, I've worked in Paint Tool Sci, and Paint Tool Sci is a lot more complicated. And I can't even talk about other even more complicated programs like Photoshop or Clip Studio Paint. I've actually really wanted to get to know Clip Studio Paint because a lot of the artists I personally respect use it, and I like a lot of its features like the 3D characters. But for now, Procreate is enough for me. And yeah, if you have any specific questions for Procreate, since you're drawing it too, yeah, just let me know. I can maybe show you some tips and tricks. But now we will go for coloring. And what I will do if we have a clear reference is just pick colors, like a skin tone. And always create a new layer. Do not try to refrain drawing on this layer we've just created. This is just a base. And instead you create new layers and clipping mask them to it. I will move myself to the side. So if you didn't know how to clipping mask something on Procreate, you just click here. My program is in German, but you can still, it's the same in English. You do a clipping mask, and then everything you draw on this layer will be automatically clipped to the layer we've just drawn beforehand, so your base layer. So even if I go right across from here to there, the color will only shine in this part of our base. It will only appear on our base layer. Yes. So now, you've already seen actually the point I'm trying to make. I've just picked the colors, and as you can see, it looks kind of blue, right? It looks very pinkish, bluish. This looks kind of weird, am I right? Yeah, this doesn't look like skin color, even though in my reference, it looks normal. Isn't that weird? Yeah, basically if you know anything about color theory, this is color theory in its best example, because we have a yellow or warm toned background, and this skin tone is actually more or less cool toned. So what happens? The two accentuate each other. So the skin color brings out the brightness or warmness of the background, and the background makes the skin color even more cool toned than it was in my reference. But this isn't a problem, because we can just kind of yeah, I'm sorry about that. We can just kind of make the colors. This called kind of put me out of my out of my flow. I will need a second. I will be right back in a minute. So, I'm back. Okay, sorry. Okay, so I've talked about color theory, and you've just posted something in chat. I needed to get started with colors soon. I'm going to have character design and backgrounds classes in uni. Oh, you're in uni too. I'm also in uni, but I'm not studying anything with art. Art is just kind of my hobby. I'm 100% self-taught. But yeah, I'm really excited about your coloring classes. Your professor will probably explain this stuff much better than I just did. Because I'm really just can talk from experience, I think. And a mistake most people make is that they just pick the skin color from the reference, and it looks kind of weird, it looks kind of grayish, it looks kind of bluish, and we don't know the reason. And the reason is because we have a warm colored background, and this just doesn't make the color feel really homogeneous, I could say. I just noticed that you can't see in stream. I'm now going to play a little bit with the hues of the artwork, and you can see that and we are trying to find a good balance between all of the parts of a drawing, including the skin. So, and we would just adjust the slider here, and as you can see, she is now kind of an alien and she can change her skin colors. So what we are trying to do is to find one that's, so this is like the original color, and we are trying to make it a little bit more like, it's actually kind of funny because now it looks like the skin color is the exact same color as the background I choose, because my background was kind of off-white, and it speaks to how anime characters are designed to basically have the skin color of paper in default. But we can just adjust the hue of the artwork, and this way her skin color will not only be extra white. And the reason I like to do this with the sliders more than just to pick and choose a random color is because every artwork, every background has a different vibe, and I kind of have to see it to find the right color. And skin color is definitely not a one size fits all, or it does, but it kind of looks boring in my opinion. And yeah, that's why it's important to experiment with your base colors a little bit, because during this phase it's actually the easiest to experiment with your colors. Like once you've done rendering, it's kind of more difficult. Okay, where can I find the sliders? Yes, these are pretty important if you're using Procreate. You have the toolbar up here. Yeah, I don't have a cursor, so I can't show you. So you have a toolbar up. Oh, I have my, that's cool. So you have a toolbar up here, and you're going to choose the wand, and then you would just choose the first thing in the table, and you will see on the bottom of your screen these sliders. They are really useful, especially when picking colors, and you can just kind of play around with them. I still would like Mau Mau to have kind of more a cool toned skin tone, so I'm trying to still be faithful to the original colors from the reference. Yes, I just saw in chat that you have to go. Thank you for being here. It's really motivating to have someone in chat, and I hope I could help you a little bit today, and have good luck with your classes, and good luck studying animation. Okay. Anyways, back to skin colors. I really like this tone right now. It's kind of, but it's quite different from the tone I've picked from the reference, but still it looks a lot more closer than the actual tone I've picked from the reference. So this will be all our base skin tone. And I would just go ahead and fill in the other skin parts, like the hands. Doop. Whoops. So this is actually all I have in my artwork with skin, so we can continue with the next layer for now. So it's up to the hair. I think the hair is the logical next step. And for the hair, I will first pick out a color from my reference too. But as you can see, the mangaka really colors in a colorful style too, and her hair has actually different shades. I use this technique in my art style too, but for now we will just focus on the base color. And now you've quite a lot of colors here in her hair. I can count at least 3. We have a black, we have a dark green, and we have a blue. And now, if you don't really know the character, it's maybe a little bit more complicated, but if you've seen the anime, you know that Mao Mao actually has dark green hair. So I will just pick what dark green I have in my reference here. Like this one. Oh, and yes, always create a new layer. This will make things much easier in the later steps. And of course, we will clip it again to our base layer. I really hope I can explain a little bit of my process. If I explained that, I explained the something that's actually relevant for you. As I said, I kind of don't know what people expect from me when they want a tutorial. So I guess a live stream is just the ultimate overview of how I draw. This is just the masterclass of drawing. I've noticed that my base layer is actually not too good. We would just put these, just erase these, because we don't need them anyways, so why do we bother? Yes. Sometimes if you're working with a screen tablet, you can get random scratches from the palm of your hand. Yeah, it's really annoying, and I haven't really found any solution to this other than maybe using a drawing glove, but I don't really like wearing a drawing glove. For those who don't know, it's like a glove you put on just your palm of the hand so it doesn't touch the screen. But I found it really irritating to wear, especially because I really don't really like normal gloves, and just wearing one for drawing is kind of a sensory nightmare for me. So I will not do that, and will just put up with random lines in my artwork. It's not too bad on the iPad. I've heard actually from screen tablet users for PC, it's actually much worse there, especially if you're like using Wacom or something. They always ship with a glove, but I don't know. I feel like most artists don't use them anyway, so why bother? Great. That's one part of the hair already done. Choop. Choop. Yeah, it's really silent if I don't talk. it's really something I have to get used to. I've always I've been afraid to implement a actual playlist into my live streams because I'm kind of not sure how the copyright works with music and streams or anything, and I don't really want anything to go wrong with my streams, so I don't want to jinx it and use the wrong music and then get copyright claimed. So I've just been using royalty-free music for now. But that also means you will probably hear the same track playing for about 2 hours. I hope you don't go insane. And I will try to talk as frequently as I can, but sometimes it's just, you know, kind of nicer, easier, more chill if you can just hear the pen gliding on my paper-like screen protector. Nice. I also just noticed that my delay isn't quite as bad as in my first stream. So either my internet just gotten better over 1 week, or something went wrong on my last stream. But it's nice. I hope we can have minimal delay in all of my future streams, because delay isn't really something I can fix in my program or anything. So we have colored in the hair, and I personally feel like it looks a little bit dull, so we are going to once again change the hue. Oh no, that's the wrong layer. Sorry guys, that was the wrong layer. Actually, you can see now that I've adjusted the hue that it's quite more bluish than greenish. It's actually kind of fun. Now she has purple hair, red hair, but we want green hair. Yes. This one's a nice one, right? Like this. Nice. So we do have hair, we have skin. Let's continue with the eyes, because eyes are my favorite part. And we will also do a base for the eyes. Oh, okay. I'm kind of thinking whether we should just start with the coloring of the hair and the face, because I think that's the most fun part, or if we just put down the layers for the clothes. I think for demonstration, for tutorial purposes, I don't know how to say it. For tutorial purposes, it would be the smartest to continue with the clothes. But I won't really go into clothes shading today. We will just lay down the colors for now. And the main reason I don't want to go into clothes shading is because I'm not quite sure what kind of colors to choose for now. So we will just put in some default colors and maybe I will change them later. But we are definitely going to focus today on the face and hair. So, basic colors it is. I really want to give her like a blue or turquoise shawl because I think that would look gorgeous against the background. But to make it like really pastel-y. No. Be a little bit lighter, like this. And then for this, I think it would be great to choose like yellow for this part. For belt, I think it's belt. And like a pink for the main part. Like this, and a red for the tassel because she wears a red tassel actually in the show. And as you can see, my colors are quite bright right now just because I want to see what they look like. And in general, my color style is kind of bright, especially before render. So I've been thinking about using about this underdress to be a pastel pink too, kind of similar to a blue but in pink. And the rest of the gown will stay white, I suppose. Good. Looks decent for now. As I said, we're definitely going to focus on the hair and skin today. So what we are going to do now is to do something fun, because I haven't really looked at the line art whilst I've laid down my base colors. I am quite happy with how the artwork has turned out up until now. Of course, this is just very basic color theory, and maybe we can circle back a little bit to how I didn't know what kind of color for the window I wanted to choose. So let's just see how the artwork kind of had different vibes with different colored windows. Because as you can see, if I use the blue colored window, the hair is a lot less saturated because I've just been choosing colors for the hair to stand out against a yellow background. Or if I use the white background, the white window background, wait a second, can't see this. It looks, as I've said, it's just muted all of my colors because they are supposed to be bright against a colored background. And this is why I've said it's important to choose or have an idea about your background colors, because this can make such a big difference. And this is something a lot of people forget, and then they draw the character and the background separately and they kind of don't fit together and they kind of bring out the worst in each other. So I always recommend to kind of know where your drawing is headed and what kind of colors your background is. I think I will go with yellow, although I will not make it as dark. I will make it a little bit more like, yeah, like this. Because this way her dark hair can stand out better. But this is actually all we had to do for the background. I like to color with a white background a lot more. It's just kind of so we have the right colors for before coloring the character, but you don't have to use your background colors all the time. So we'll hide them for now, and we will just continue with our character because the base colors are here, and maybe they look a little bit dark to you, but they look alright with the background colors I've been going with. So this is the colors I end up choosing. And now we will continue with everything else in the artwork. First of all, what's the first thing to do? It's to eliminate these overlapping lines. And I will not do this by just erasing, because what I will do actually is to blur them. And you don't have to worry about it blurring outside the base, and you don't have to worry about the blurring because it's basically has been clipped to the base, so it stays within your line art. Gosh, speaking gets kind of hard after you've explained a lot. Okay, so we will just blur it a little bit. Why doesn't it blur? Hi Rebel! And yes, we are drawing Mau Mau from the Apothecary Diaries today. Thanks a lot! I will talk a little bit about my coloring process, and basically we've just laid down the base colors for now. And yes, I've actually wanted to draw a fan art of Mau Mau because I totally fell in love with the anime, so much so that I've immediately read the manga, and in 2 days I've catch up until the newest chapter. That's how obsessed I am. And of course, as an artist, there's no higher tribute than drawing a fan art. So I've blurred the skin color up until now, and it looks kind of weird, but bear with me, please. yeah, these harsh lines are basically just the parts that you have missed when you put in the base layer for the hair. But it's no problem, we can just color them in. So, why did I blur this instead of just erasing it? Well, because we already have the base colors, but now comes the fun part of doing secondary base colors, I don't know how to explain it. I would just do it and maybe explain what I did afterwards. Maybe you can understand it better. So what I'm doing. Hi Milo, thank you for watching and thank you for liking the artwork. So what I will do is I use my base skin color and make it a lot brighter. And we've already established that the light source is coming from her back or from like beneath, because I have a window in my background. So the light source will come from about this direction, and we will just use a brighter version of our base skin color to indicate light. Of course it doesn't work now. Yes, now it works. So we will indicate it like this. Honestly, if you don't have enough experience with light, it's the easiest to just use a reference with a gate light source, but I already have drawn light so many times, I don't need a reference for this. Thank you for your encouraging words, Rebel. I hope you can do it. Yes, it's very motivating to hear people cheering onto my artworks. Because drawing is usually a very lonely hobby, you kind of do it alone. My artworks usually take about 8 to 12 hours to complete, and you kind of don't notice how time flies by, but that's basically just 8 to 12 hours that you sit alone in your room and just draw. So maybe making it a little bit more social with streaming is actually a good idea. How long have you been drawing for? So I've been drawing on and off for about 10 years now, I think. I'm actually 21 and yeah, it's been quite a while. I've been drawing basically since I've been a teenager. I've been drawing as a kid also, of course, but basically as soon as I got into like anime, I also was really interested into drawing because I've been so inspired by all the characters I've been reading and watching that I've actually wanted to draw my own original characters and my own original worlds. I've actually had this dream for a while now to one day draw my own manga or anything like that, but I've never come around to it, especially because I'm not really a good storyteller. But one day I will definitely do it, just to make my younger self happy. Now, this part looks kind of chaotic, and it kind of is, to be honest. Yeah, just bear with me, believe in the process. I hope the artwork will turn out good. If not, I don't know. I would try my best here, and please bear with me, even though this beginning stage looks kind of rough. I've only been drawing for over 2 years, and I believe that drawing is definitely a skill that has to be learned over time, and you really have to be patient with it. So I think drawing for 2 years is actually pretty good. You've already been much further than other people, and I hope you find the motivation to be drawing again. I'm sorry, I sometimes have a hard time to navigate drawing and talking together. It's kind of hard. We'll have to get used to it. Especially because English isn't my mother tongue. So, or my native language, I think that's how you say it. So, as you can see, I've darkened the skin tone quite a bit. I've actually put in the lighters, and you can already see a little bit of depth in the face. However, I kind of noticed that my colors are a little bit muddy, and I don't like that. So what we will do is to use my favorite tool, of course, once again. And to make the colors a little bit more pinkish. It's actually kind of hard to choose a pink skin tone, because if you go to red, I think she looks kind of like she has a sunburn all the time. But we will bear with it. So I like this skin color actually. And I think we can actually make it a little bit more lighter. So, like this. And what I will do now is to just refine the edges a little bit. Your avatar is very pretty. The eyes are really beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm actually a VTuber / PNG tuber artist. So the character you're seeing right now is drawn by me, of course, and it's my persona. And yeah, this is basically this. You have a reference how eventually the artwork will turn out once I once I've kind of done more. This is really just the beginning of the actual artwork. Bear with me, she's kind of going to look like my avatar in the end, hopefully, because this is my art style, and I will teach you how I draw eyes later. Maybe in today's stream, maybe next week or later this week. But yeah, thank you for liking my art style. I have an Instagram and a Twitter, so if you are interested into seeing more of my artworks, it's Arisa Draws basically on every platform, almost any social media platform. So, but we are going to leave the skin for now. It looks a little bit weird, but we are going to continue with the hair because there's something I really wanted to show you, because we are going to use the same method I just used for the skin for the hair too. So like choosing the highlight color kind of here, just generally speaking here. So, and now having highlights like kind of here. Yes, this, hi, NB3, and yes, this is Procreate. It's my drawing program of choice. I have an iPad Pro 2020, and I've been using it for about for about 2 years now. 2.5. Let's be safe and say 2.5. Now I put in some shadows, but that's actually not the main part I want to show here, because for hair, my style, as I've already said multiple times, is very colorful. So what do we do to make it appear even more colorful than it is? It's to use kind of nonsensical colors. They make sense in the end, but in the beginning it looks kind of weird. So what I'm going to do is to choose our base color and to make it a lot brighter. Basically to have a pastel green to add to this. And where I'm going to choose it? Basically in the background. Like this. And usually in any other artist's art style, you would say, oh, that's the part I would shade darker. Why are you shading it lighter? Because I really like the idea of having a second light source, and I call this light source random light source to make my hair especially more colorful. I don't really know how to explain it other than it works, and I really like the effect of it. You can see it kind of in my reference artwork here too, because she has kind of a bluish color here on top, and that's just her highlight color. And I really don't know how to explain it other than, trust me, it looks good. Choose a random color and just put it on the darkest parts of your artwork, I guess. Just put it on anywhere, because some bright pops of color really look great, especially later in the rendering stage. So I've just seen that people are posting in chat, so I will read chat for now. Do you have a favorite anime? Difficult question, because I do have a lot of animes I can recommend. I've seen a lot of them in my life, but I couldn't really say what my favorite is, especially because I've always been more of a manga reader than a anime watcher actually. So I collect mangas, I really have a favorite manga, but I couldn't say that I have a favorite anime. I could say I have a favorite anime in any kind of genre, or I have a favorite comfort anime. Generally speaking, I really like fantasy and I really like romance. So those are kind of my favorite genres. You can make of that what you want to. So, you may have already answered it. Was the coloring are you doing? Is this what they call shell shading? So it's difficult to explain for me because technically, yes, I am using the idea of shell shading. However, my style is more like a I don't know how to call it. It's more like a fusion of painting and cel shading because I don't quite have the details of a traditionally painted look, but I have more details than a cel shading look. That's because my line art is a lot thinner and my line art is a lot more like a sketch. Traditionally speaking, if you are doing cel shading, you need a good line art as a base. The better your line art, the better your cel shading will be. I have a lot of artist friends who are great at cel shading, but I kind of don't have the patience for a super detailed line art. So my line art is kind of sketchy, and this way I have a more painterly style. It's definitely a lot more effort, but it has its roots in the cel shading style. Some things are not easy to explain. Yes, thank you. Thank you for your patience. This is my second stream after all, and I can't really... I still have to get used to a lot of things while streaming. Because streaming is a lot different than just drawing. But I'm happy that at least some people are watching my stream, and as long as you guys are still interested in my stream, I will continue streaming. As I've already said, I've been totally overwhelmed with the support from just my first stream, and I'm really happy that you guys are welcoming me with so open arms. So now we already have some variation in our colors, and it already looks a lot more colorful than it has beforehand. And now I've blurred this part here, the skin part too, so now I'm going to blur the hair too, so just that we have a little bit more better transition between the colors. So next part is coloring line art. Coloring line art is actually a so underrated trick to make your drawings look a little bit better. So if you want to, the easiest trick I can honestly give to any beginner artist is to color in your line art. But you can only really color in your line art if you have, if you already have some base colors and you have some idea of your base colors, because basically you're going to color in your line art with a darker version of your base color, but in a kind of way that also makes your base color stand out a little bit more, a lot more. So I'm going to choose the darkest color of my skin color I've chosen for now and make it a lot darker but a lot more saturated too. And now I'm going to alpha lock my my line art layer and just color in with color and just color in my line art. Do you speak another language? Yes, I'm actually from Germany. I speak German. English is not my native tongue. It's not even my second native tongue. It's my third language, actually, because I actually speak a little bit of Russian too. But I'm way better in German and English, obviously. I know that I have quite an accent. Please bear with me. I hope it will get better over time because I'm not quite used to speaking English all the time yet. as you can see, just by coloring the line art, I've actually made the artwork a lot softer. And this also blends into the painterly style. The line art is a little bit less noticeable when a traditional cel shading style. Yeah, I felt a different accent. Germany is great. As I've said, bear with me. Also, the mispronouncing things, I also do this in German. I just can't seem to pronounce some words. So it's just not just a language barrier thing. I sometimes can't speak. Oh, you're Spanish. That's great. I actually can't speak Spanish at all. But I really like, I chose to stream in English rather than in German, just because I feel like I have a much larger international community with this, and I know that some of my followers on Instagram are only speaking English too, so I hope my English is good enough for streaming. So anyways, coloring the line art. Actually, for the hair, it won't make that big of a difference, but I did it mainly for the skin. Also, maybe here we can make a little bit of lighter line art. Maybe not this light, but like this. And this just makes the artwork so much softer. You will definitely see the full effect in the end once I'm done with rendering. So, and now it looks like an airbrushed mess. Now, these are just really the base colors, because now comes the actual fun part, and that's the rendering and an idea of a finished artwork by drawing the eyes. So what I'm first going to do is to actually correct how I've drawn the eyes in. It won't take a long time for you to have a community. Oh, thank you, you're so nice, Rebel. I've been a small artist. I've been posting my art on the internet for as long as I've been drawing, actually. So for about, yeah, maybe not the 10 years I've been drawing, but for at least 8 years I've been posting my art online. And most of the time I've never really built up in community. I've actually passed my 5k followers this year. I've also passed 1k followers this year on Instagram. And I've been kind of amazed of how fast my community is growing. And on one hand, I'm really overwhelmed by all the support I've been getting recently. And on the other hand, it's really motivating for me to hear all the support from you guys. And it's really making me have the motivation to draw again. So what we are going to do is to choose a light reflection color, and usually you will just use a color that just really fits your base color. And I think a pink would look really nice for this. So I'm going to use a saturated pink, a highly saturated pink, and to just kind of put it here. This is your light color or light motif. And this doesn't even have to follow your light source. It's kind of like with the blue parts I've done on the hair. You can put them kind of anywhere in the eyes, but they have to kind of stand out in comparison to your base color. So I wouldn't really recommend just using a lighter version of your base color for this. Try using a slightly different color and a more highly saturated color for this light reflection. And now we are going to put in the dark reflection, and we are basically going to do the same as with the light reflection, just into it with darker colors. And instead of using a pink, I'm going to choose a blue now because I think it will look great. And we will also start drawing in the pupil. The pupil can be sometimes tricky for beginner artists to figure out, but usually just make sure that your character is really looking into the direction you want to and not just looking anyway. And you can already see the eyes, but we are going to add a lot more details into them. So, but they don't pop at the same time. Your time will come. Aw, thank you. That's so sweet, Rebel. That's a really cute quote. I've never heard it before. Are you self-taught or did you go to uni or academia? I'm self-taught. I am currently studying at university, but I am a business major actually, so nothing to do with art. Art is a hobby for me, and I kind of don't want to ruin it by making it my breathing, by having the stress of a professor telling me how my art style isn't the right art in his opinion. Especially because I am mainly an anime artist and I really enjoy drawing anime characters, and this really isn't something that's really accepted in academia, at least in the West. So I really just stick it as a hobby, and that's enough, I think. I've actually been selling my art. I have an online shop with prints and with stickers and stuff, and I've also been vending at conventions, so maybe if you are from Germany, maybe we will see each other on a convention next year, but I've never been thinking about doing art more professionally than this. So, as you see, I just put in a lighter dot into the pupil, and in this way you can get this kind of effect. So now I'm going to do something really random and just put any kind of color into the pupil, like, for example, a turquoise. I think a turquoise could look nice. And just put this turquoise in here. Actually, I don't like, I think the turquoise is too close to, yes, this is much nicer. So this random pop of color into the artwork is what makes the eyes really look more alive and dynamic. I always say you will understand it in the end, but just trust me, it looks good if you just put in a random color into your eyes. For my PNG tuber, that's the one that's talking right now, I have actually red in my eyes a little bit. Maybe you can spot it, maybe not. So what we are going to do is now to just render the eyes, just kind of add whatever, add a little bit of light, add a little bit of shine. This kind of depends on your art style, honestly. Just make sure that everything is looking cohesive. Maybe I can do a in-depth eye tutorial later as a video and not a stream, so I can actually explain it better. But basically this is just your art style and how you draw. Oh. Sorry, I've just been a little bit more quiet now because I can't really explain what I'm doing here, because every artist is kind of having their own way of how they draw eyes, and it's kind of up to you. It's just kind of what is fun for you, what kind of art style you like. I do suggest finding some high resolution pictures of your favorite artists and how they draw eyes, and just try kind of to copy them. I'm not saying that you have to draw the very same thing that they are drawing, but try to find the way, or try to find the technique your favorite artist has been using and try to emulate it, and hopefully you will end up with a style you like for your eyes. My art style, for example, is really inspired by like shoujo anime and really bright and big eyes and really sparkly eyes. yeah, that's basically what inspires me to draw, and really colorful eyes, of course. Painting eyes is fun. Yes, it definitely is. It's such a fun way to finally see a part of your artwork rendered after you've been just staring at weird at weird base colors and line arts and sketches and everything. It's good to have kind of a vision of where your artwork is heading in the end. I actually think I have made the light reflections in here a little bit too bright, too big. It's sometimes it's easier to just work over the over your line art. That's called overpainting. And whenever you feel like your line art is limiting your coloring, you can just create a layer above it and overpaint. Which is something I'm doing right now, because I'm not quite happy with the eye shines I've actually drawn in originally. Well, eye shines are really great for you as an indicator to kind of see where the light is coming from in the eyes. But I just basically made them way too big in this sketch or in this line art. Great. It looks really weird now that the eyes are rendered and everything else is not. We will get there. Eventually the whole artwork will look as rendered as these eyes. I hope you like these eyes at least. Because I haven't really explained much, but as I've said, just kind of try to find your favorite artist and study the way in which they draw eyes. So, and now what I've already talked about overpainting, I am going to overpaint a little bit on the eyes now. The process I'm doing right now is called rendering. So it's kind of to put light and shadows together and make the artwork look a little bit more cohesive. It's easier to do if you already have blended colors into each other, so that you kind of just have to paint it. So you just kind of have to either make the gradients more harsher or lighter. That's why I blur my colors before I start rendering. I've really noticed over time that it makes rendering a lot easier if the colors are already blended together. Also, maybe you have noticed that I've just now introduced black into my artwork. And I'm just putting into strategic places of the artwork just to make the contrast even harder. And this is why I have said that I'm not just using regular cel shading, because regular cel shading usually don't resort to overpainting. So the method I'm using right now, and I feel like this is really the part that makes my artwork that makes my art style stand out from a usually cel shaded style. I don't like the rules of cel shading. I'm doing my own rules. Why aren't you showing up? Ah, because I've followed you. But I have difficulty with clothes and hair. Yes, I don't think I will come to hair today. I will definitely do hair in a separate stream. Maybe today. Yeah, definitely not today. But I will do as much of a skin as I hopefully can. Yes, I will just continue with the eyes for now. You've combined the colors super great. Thank you so much. This is really something you kind of learn with time. You kind of get a feeling for what looks great together and what doesn't. There is actually, I think, some theory behind it. It's once again color theory. I haven't explained this yet. But it's basically like some colors look really great if you put the opposite color into the eye. And this makes the colors really pop, and that's really something you should be looking for when drawing. I can explain this in a in-depth tutorial maybe in the future. I'm sorry if I've not explained it properly, but maybe just seeing me drawing has helped you a little bit. Ah! Hi, Lida! Hi! Welcome to the stream. You're a little bit late, but it's okay. I've streamed a lot earlier than usual today. For those who don't know, the person who just got into chat is actually a good friend of mine. Hi, Lila. I've actually had quite a few commenters today. It's kind of cute. And we've already made the base colors and the eyes today. Kind of bothered by this dot. So, and we will continue with the skin and yeah, I think we will just do the skin today. I don't think I have time for much else, but at least I will be streaming for at least half an hour still. Yeah, feel free to chat in the comments and just yeah. I'm so happy you could join this time. Now, I will continue shading the skin. I've been kind of finished with the eyes for now. I can't really do anything else before I've not put in the harsher shadows. So I will actually copy from my reference here a little bit, and she has used this gorgeous pink as her shading color, and I will do the same. So I have the Apothecary art style TM, but of course in my own way. Kind of too bright, right? It might look a little bit crazy in the beginning, but please trust me again. I feel like this is a sentence I will say a lot. Please trust me, it will look good in the end. Maybe a little bit more red would be nice. Yes, a little bit more red looks better in the skin. Sorry, I haven't read chat in a while, but I'm glad you guys are talking. You guys are basically fangirling over me. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for the support, I guess. No, I'm really happy that you guys discover my art. I think the greatest part about being an artist is to be able to inspire people, like how I have been inspired by all of these works how I am still inspired by all of these works. And I would love to see how you guys interpret the things that I'm doing. I really don't have the words for it because I'm just so overwhelmed by the support. Oh wow, we have a high of 8 views. That's a lot. Hi guys. Even if you're just a lurker, I'm so happy that you are able to tune into my stream. And I really like this pink as a shading color. I think it looks really great. It's a lot brighter than my usual shading, but I think it looks really great. Maybe I should incorporate more pinks into my art style. By the way, speaking of Germany, do you have any favorite fruits from there? Oh, good question. Good question, because I love foods. Who doesn't? Let's see. I really love pretzels. Lilaf just commented schnitzel. I'm actually, I like schnitzel, but I don't like the German version of schnitzel. I like the Japanese version of schnitzel a lot more because I don't like the German panko equivalent. for us it's called Semmelbrösel. It's a really German word, Semmelbrösel. I don't really like those. I like Panko a lot more. But my favorite food from Germany has to be... what is my favorite food from Germany? I think actually it's pretzels. I love pretzels. Especially the good ones. Like we have some really big ones, and we have some of them are filled with cheese, and they are so good. I love those. And pretzel sticks. Pretzel sticks are also taste very good. It's like kind of the most basic answer you can give. But it's true. Pretzels are good for a reason. Yes, pretzels. In Germany we call them Brezel, or besser gesagt Laugenbrezel. It's basically just a kind of bread that's shaped like a bow, and it's no. Yeah, Berliner are also very good. I don't really like a lot of deep fried foods, and Berliner are deep fried. That's why I don't really like them. Actually, I feel like this could be a interesting ranking video one day, an interesting tier list video one day. It's just German foods. Actually, now that we have December, in Germany, we have Christmas markets. They are really big in Germany, and on Christmas markets you get so much delicious food. It's all so expensive nowadays. In the last 2 years, I think they have like tripled the prices of food on these markets. But it's so good anyways. And they have some, I don't know what it's called in English, that's why I haven't talked about it earlier. But in Germany they are kind of like deep fried parts of batter with powdered sugar on top, and they are so delicious. The skin looks kind of rough right now. Because I don't know on which... Yes, because I've worked on the wrong layer. Of course I have. Don't you love it when you work on the wrong layer? It happens so often. So, like this. Hamburgers, also I see that you're talking about German foods in the comments. Hamburgers for hamburger? Actually, hamburger, so like the food hamburger is actually directly named after the city. It's just Hamburg in Germany, or Hamburg, how we say it in my part of Germany. Yeah, it's just straight up named after the city. A lot of Americans pronounce it really weird, at least for a German speaker. They say like Hamburg, Hamburg, but it's just Hamburg. Kind of have a hard time figuring out how much red I want to incorporate into the skin. But now we've been talking a lot about Germany, but Babel, you know, as you said that you speak Spanish. Are you from Spain or are you just from a Spanish-speaking country? Of course, if you're not comfortable to share it, you don't have to. In general, if I speak to you, you have no obligation to answer me, actually. So I hope the constant flipping of my canvas don't make you dizzy. It's actually the more further I get into my drawing process, the harder it is for me. The more I zoom into the artwork and zoom out and zoom in and zoom out, it can be. You just kind of have to get used to it. If you're an artist, you kind of already understand that you kind of don't have to zoom in and zoom out all the time just to get a fuller picture of the artwork and such and such. I kind of feel like I made her eye bags too big. On my character, eye bags kind of look... I always like to add eye bags because they look really cute. But it's kind of a thin line between, oh, I'm very cute and have cute eye bags and I haven't slept in 3 days. It's kind of a balance you have to find with just during the rendering process. There's nothing you can do about this actually. this was not supposed to happen. Oh, I've just been checking out the stream again on YouTube, and I just noticed that we have so big of a delay. Oh my gosh. I feel like I've talked about some stuff in the chat that have been posted like 10 minutes ago. Oh gosh. I hope you guys can still understand it. I've been actually much farther in the drawing process. Oh my gosh. I didn't notice that I have so big of a delay. Oh, that's so awkward actually. But I don't know what to do against this. It's probably because of my bad internet connection. Oh no. But I hope at least you guys have fun in chat. Yeah, I've just posted in chat about it, so maybe if you have seen my message in chat, you can already tell how much of a delay we have. I'm guessing we have like about a 10-minute delay. It's kind of ridiculous, honestly. But there's nothing I can do, at least for today. It was like okay in the beginning when I started streaming today, so it kind of just seemed to have slowed down over time. I don't know if my internet connection is better on the day than later. That's really annoying. Maybe I will find some tool to actually minimize this delay. Well, at least you guys, there's a lot of things I can improve on the stream, I think, but I am noticing that you guys are quite interested into my streams, and as long as you guys are here, I am 100% motivated to continue this. And maybe next stream I will actually have some alerts for following or something. I haven't quite figured out how to put these in yet. So that's definitely something what I've wanted to work on in the future.
I'm sorry, guys. I've just noticed how fast the time flies. It's already almost 9 p.m. and I've scheduled the stream to go only up until 9 p.m. This is it's honestly been a great experience with you guys. The time has just been flown away, and I'm kind of sad because I still have some stuff to do. But we'll continue a little bit with this drawing the skin. But I will definitely end the stream today after I've drawn the skin. I really like drawing lips, especially juicy lips. Anyways, I think sorry I haven't been talking that much in the last 10 minutes or something. Maybe I've just been getting kind of tired, and also I kind of have a lot of things to do this evening too. So that's why I kind of drifted off in my own thoughts and kind of forget for a second, but I'm still streaming. Forgot for a second that I'm still streaming. So that's why I will wrap things up for today. I think we've accomplished quite a lot, to be honest. I think the end of the stream definitely wasn't a tutorial anymore and just people talking in chat. And I think that's great, honestly. I will definitely, for the future, I will look that I can do a stream schedule. I think that would be much easier for you and me to plan, for maybe you guys to catch my streams. And I will definitely see what I can do about the delay I've experienced today. Because it's kind of like I'm talking, yeah, it's kind of not fun if I'm not talking with you guys and I'm just like 10 minutes behind you guys. You guys are in the future for me. Yeah, I will see what I can do about that, and I hope you guys can look into my streams in the future too. But I will continue just a little bit, just a smidge more. kind of roof drawing you kind of can't stop up until you're finished, and even if you're finished you still find 5,000 things wrong with your artwork, so you kind of don't know where to stop. Art is a really hard hobby. It's a frustrating one for sure. Yeah, I've just... I feel so bad about the delay. You guys have already talked about yourselves, but... I'm so sorry, guys. But I don't want to ignore the chat. Maybe I've been just overthinking things. Anyways. I kind of have a feeling that I will wrap things up here. I think I'm quite happy with the skin. So, for all you guys who just wanted to see the finished product, you guys won't see the finished product today, but I hope you can understand an artwork takes a lot of time to render and a lot of time to draw. I definitely will continue with the hair in the next stream, and the hair is actually the longest part for me to render, so it's going to take the longest time too. But I hope this stream already gave you a little bit of an insight of how I draw. Maybe you can now trust me how I render. It looks a little bit rough at the beginning, but please trust me, it's going to look good at the end. And I hope I will post in my community tab when I will stream the next time. And I hope to see you again. Once again, thank you for Layla, NB, and Rebel Custom that you guys were so active in my chat. It was a delight to read. Thank you for checking me out. Thank you for supporting me and my art journey. I hope to see you guys soon again. Bye!